High stakes and heavy security expected at Nueces County Courthouse today for the case tied to the tragic Uvalde school shooting. We'll show you what you need to know before it all starts.
Plus, with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in U.S. custody, what comes next? We'll hear from President Trump. Your Chris 6 Sunrise starts now.
Well, hey there. Good Monday morning, everyone. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise. Waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, this is going to be the first full week of 2026. So we got to get you going, right? So let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at your weather and traffic this morning. Hey, good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. Yes, the long weekend is ending for all of those that had it off last week, of course. But luckily, as we're kicking off our Monday, plenty of greens on the board. Temperatures in the 60s. Fog not too bad, at least not as bad as we were expecting, so not too much to complain about as we're heading into our Monday morning. Here's a live look now at our SBID cam, and you can see more cars hitting the roadway than when we were in the holidays, of course, heading out for that Monday morning commute. 57 degrees. Hopefully you're bringing the jacket along with you, and as we get a good look at that traffic flow across the entire region, like we talked about, plenty of greens on the map, so let's get right into it here. Starting off with the New Harbor Bridge, 181 going into Portland and Taft. They're going to be good and green, as well as 361 going into Ingleside. Only a very minor slowdown there on that one. Robstown and Calallen now heading in from those towns. 44 coming into Violet there. Only the minor slowdown there we're looking at coming in from Robstown. Although 37 coming in from Calallen. Going to be good and green if you're hitting that roadway this morning. Now into our neck of the woods here into Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SBID, Saratoga. Really take your pick. Plenty of greens on the map, so no issues in our neck of the woods. Let's move on over towards the Flower Bluff area. Flower Bluff Drive and Walton Road, both nice and green, but pretty good slowdown as you're working up towards the Naval Air Station, so want to account for a couple extra minutes there.
Stephen, thank you so much. So, a case the entire nation is watching is expected to start today, right here in Corpus Christi at Nueces County Courthouse. Officials say the impact could rival high-profile cases like the Selena murder trial.
Now, the Nueces County Sheriff's Office says they're ready, and they want you to be ready too. Take a look.
As tragedy unraveled, the entire country watched, even me reporting from Nevada. Our eyes were on Uvalde, Texas on May 24th, 2022. A shooting took the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School. And while the gunman didn't survive, the search for accountability never stopped. Now, for the first time, a criminal trial connected to law enforcement's response is moving forward. Former Uvalde CISD police officer Adrian Gonzalez, one of more than 400 officers who responded on scene, is the first to face charges. He was indicted on 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment. If convicted, he could get up to 2 years in prison per charge. Jury selection starts Monday, January 5th, right here in Nueces County, and officials are bracing for huge crowds.
Our courthouse, I mean, we're blessed with enough space, and some of our department heads are actually vacating and working from home to accommodate all of the different participants of this trial.
450 potential jurors have been subpoenaed. Security will be heavy and checkpoints could be busier than normal. As for the trial, it could last for weeks.
Whether it lasts a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we want it to be done right, and we want our courthouse to provide an orderly and secure venue for everybody involved.
And folks, because of the expected crowds and security demands, Sheriff J.C. Hooper is asking the public to avoid the Nueces County Courthouse today and tomorrow.
So details regarding the visitation and funeral for former Kingsville Fire Department and veteran Moises Castillo have been announced. Castillo passed away in a crash on Tuesday in Kingsville. The 35-year-old was set to be sworn in as a Kingsville police officer this month. He is survived by his wife and son. Visitation will be held this Thursday, January 8th from 3 to 9 p.m., I should say. It will be at the St. Gertrude Catholic Church. That's at 1120 South 8th Street in Kingsville. The funeral services will also be held there on Friday, January 9th. That begins at 11 in the morning, and the burial will follow at the St. Gertrude Cemetery.
The Trump administration will discuss the U.S. military operation in Venezuela with select members of Congress today. Saturday's attack in Caracas led to deposed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife being taken into U.S. custody. Sources tell CNN the administration will now update chairs and ranking members of the House and Senate Foreign Relations and Armed Services Committees. Now, the so-called Gang of Eight will also be brought in. They're congressional leaders from both parties, along with top members of the intelligence committees. Sources say the update will be led by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe.
Well, hey there, and good Monday morning. Coastal Bend taking a live look now at our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. The Harbor Bridge in view, nice and lit up this morning. So is the aquarium out there, shaping up for a nice Monday out there with 60 degrees on the board and that wind out of the northeast 3 miles an hour. Definitely jacket worthy as you're heading out, but definitely going to lose it as we're heading into the afternoon. First, taking a look back at yesterday, close to right on the money in terms of those morning lows. Only 2 degrees off, coming in at 50 degrees, 4 degrees off for the daytime highs, coming in at 71 yesterday, shy of that record 88 degrees we set back in 1997, and coming up on a quarter of an inch in terms of a rainfall deficit, but of course we're still very early into 2026. For our temperatures out there right now, a little bit warmer along the coast, coming up on that 70-degree mark in Port Aransas, 67 over at the Naval Air Station, 54 looking like the cool spot as we work our way to the north in Beeville, and Cotulla to the northwest going to round us out at that 55-degree mark this morning. As we look at the fog out there right now, starting to see it dissipate luckily as we work towards Beeville. They were at that third of a mile visibility, right now sitting at about 2.5 miles. Alice coming in at 4 miles, Robstown 5 miles. Here in Corpus Christi, we're also doing a little bit better than where we were, so not expecting too many issues on the fog front right now. And as we go into the rest of the day, those feels like temperatures only going to rise up past the air temperatures as we're going into the daytime high. Really, we're supposed to get to about 80 degrees, going to feel like about 82 to 83 degrees by the time we're heading into 2 to 3 p.m. And with all this moisture in place, by the time we're in the overnight hours, only going to be holding on to those upper 60s for me, it feels like, temperatures in terms of overnight lows. For our future tracker, you can see how we're holding on to some of this cloud cover and patchy fog through about that sunrise time frame, but then we start to clear up pretty nicely as we're heading into the afternoon. And then as we go into tomorrow, you could just about copy and paste it into it, where we see that redevelopment of some cloud cover and the patchy fog as we're going into our Tuesday morning. But as we go into Tuesday afternoon, plenty of sunshine going to be on the menu once again. For our upper level pattern, really my eyes are going to be on the back half of this week. By Thursday into Friday, you can see where this next upper level trough of low pressure works into the central United States. That's where we're going to see our next associated cold front with it, and a steep drop in temperatures for the weekend, going from the 80s on Friday into those 60s by the weekend, and starting off that second week of 2026 nice and cool. So here's how that looks on the 7-day forecast. Going to hold on to those above average temps in the 80s for pretty much the entire work week before that a cold front works through and makes for a cloudy, cool weekend.
From across the ocean to right here in Corpus Christi, still to come, we'll show you some reactions to the situation in Venezuela.
Plus, with President Maduro now in U.S. custody, who will take charge of Venezuela? Still to come on Chris 6 Sunrise, President Trump's surprising answer. Welcome back, folks. It is 6:10 this Monday morning. You're getting a live look from our Lexington Skycam, courtesy of First Community Bank. Looking good out there with the new Harbor Bridge glowing, 60 degrees outside right now as well. We will check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones in just a bit, but first, we have some of your top headlines.
That's right. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife will appear in a federal court on Monday. That's according to a Justice Department official. And with President Trump's recent comments about the U.S.'s involvement, what comes next? Jen Sullivan reports on the next steps for the South American country and the reaction from Capitol Hill.
The deposed president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, now a prisoner of the United States. Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were captured by U.S. forces overnight Saturday following intense missile strikes in the country's capital city of Caracas.
Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody.
Venezuela's ousted leader now behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York City, where he faces multiple drug and weapons charges, including narco-terrorism conspiracy and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. Maduro has denied being involved in drug trafficking. Maduro's capture now raising many questions about who is now in charge of Venezuela.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
On NBC's Meet the Press, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying a regime change is the goal.
The goal of the policy is to see changes in Venezuela that are beneficial to the United States, first and foremost, because that's who we work for, but also, we believe, beneficial for the people of Venezuela.
While Maduro was seen by many as an authoritarian leader who violated human rights, the action to capture him and his wife has raised serious concerns about the U.S. violating international law.
Maduro could, in fact, be a bad actor, but there is a process that needs to be played.
Meanwhile, congressional Democrats are raising concerns about the nature of U.S. actions in Venezuela and claim that the Trump administration bypassed Congress.
Only Congress has the power to declare war.
The Trump administration says nothing they've done so far has required congressional approval. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
As you can imagine, folks, President Trump's move against Maduro has triggered reactions from people all across the world over the weekend. In Puerto Rico, a rally organized by Venezuelans in San Juan celebrated Maduro being taken, but their celebration was not shared by all. In Spain, hundreds gathered in Madrid to protest the United States' involvement in the situation, saying it sets a dangerous precedent for countries with their own sovereignty. And here at home in Corpus Christi, members of the Venezuelan community held their own demonstration at Brewster Street on the South Side Saturday.
And for us, it's a very, very special day. You know, we're very happy, we're very optimistic, and, you know, we are expecting that the American population will help the Venezuelan people to get the freedom that we deserve.
Dozens were seen at the restaurant sporting Venezuelan flags, singing and dancing.
Well, hey there, and good Monday morning, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live look now at our USS Lexington Cam, thanks to First Community Bank. Only sitting at that 60-degree mark, winds out of the northeast 3 miles an hour. And of course, the aquarium and the new Harbor Bridge nice and lit up, putting on a good show this morning. And you can also see a few cars there on the new Harbor Bridge, a few more than we were seeing over the holidays. Looks like the long weekend is over as we got rid of all that PTO as we went to the end of the year. For our temperatures out there right now, 55 degrees as you work your way to the northwest in Cotulla, 54 there in Beeville. Here in town, like we talked about, 60 degrees, and as you work your way along the coast, considerably warmer. Port Aransas is coming up on that 70-degree mark, 69 right now, but as we go into those daytime highs, we're all going to be chasing the upper 70s and those 80s out there. Current visibility is looking a little bit better. Beeville up to 3 miles of visibility right now, 5 over there in Robstown, 4 as we work our way into Alice, but luckily shy of where we were earlier. Beeville was down to about a 1/3 mile visibility, so we're working the direction we want to as we go into the morning hours. For our dog walking forecast today we've got Max Kennedy on the board. Looks like he's definitely a summer lover, and as we go into those morning temperatures for Max's walk, definitely going to be on the warm-up, 71 degrees, 74 there by 11 a.m., 76 on the board as we're heading in towards that lunch hour, and like I talked about, chasing those upper 70s and 80s this afternoon, so not looking too bad at all there for Max. For our forecast highs, you can see how that shapes up in your town, 79 degrees for Beeville, looking like 83 over there in George West. Either way, going to be definitely above that average. It's supposed to be 67 degrees or so this time of year for us. For our future tracker in through the rest of the day, going to hold on to a decent amount of cloud cover through that sunrise time frame and into the early morning hours, but by the time we're heading closer to lunchtime and into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine on the board for us. And as we go into Tuesday, you could just about copy and paste it into tomorrow, a redevelopment of that fog going into tomorrow morning, and a redevelopment of some of that patchy fog going into tomorrow morning, and plenty of cloud cover overhead to go along with it also. As we're looking at our forecast highs going through the next few days, they're going to be on that repeat also, going into the 80s pretty much every day through the work week. By Friday, that's where we're getting that next cold front into the area, and you can see that steep drop in temperatures pushing us into the 60s as we're heading into the weekend, and potentially holding on to those cool temperatures as we go into the second week of 2026. So here's a quick look at that 7-day forecast and how it shapes up here in Corpus Christi. The above average temperatures through this work week before we see a cloudy and cool weekend in the wake of that cold front.
New year, new gas prices. After the break, I'll tell you about the best and cheapest spots all around the Coastal Bend to get your fuel fix. That's next. Welcome back, folks. So each and every week I track those gas prices for you Mondays and Fridays, making sure that your dollar goes just a little bit further. I got some news to talk about too. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's take a look at the averages to start out. According to Gas Buddy, $2.75 is the national average. That is actually down by about 2 cents since Friday. As for Lone Star State, we are sitting at $2.33 as the average, down by 3 cents since Friday. And while we usually do better here in the Coastal Bend, that average is $2.48 here in Corpus Christi, at least. That's down by 10 cents since Friday. Cheapest prices I was able to find in Corpus Christi proper, $2.29 over at the Exxon on Alameda and Doddridge. As for our Portland friends, paying a little bit more, right? $2.41 over the Murphy USA, right there next to the Walmart. And if you're out there on the island, you're always going to be paying a bit more, right? $2.53 at almost all the stations I was able to find, except for a couple out there in Port A, so watch out for that. As always, you can find cheaper prices than these guys because they tend to fluctuate during the day. You might want to stop and fill up while you can. I have all these prices posted on our website, christv.com. And now that you are filled up, let's take a look at the roadways with meteorologist Stephen Jones. Stephen, take it away, brother.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. Taking a live look now at our USS Lexington Cam, thanks to First Community Bank. The new Harbor Bridge in view. Quite a few more cars heading out on the Harbor Bridge for that Monday morning commute than what we were seeing over the holidays, of course. But both the Harbor Bridge and Aquarium putting on a good view for our Monday morning. And as we get a good look at that traffic flow across the Coastal Bend, at least here in Corpus Christi, plenty of greens on the map. So let's get right into it here. Starting off with the Harbor Bridge, going to be good in green, as well as 181 heading into Taft there. And 361 going towards Ingleside, really not too bad for your morning commute. Now towards Calallen and Robstown, 37 in the clear. 44 coming in from Robstown, only a minor slowdown there near the Violet area. Over into our neck of the woods for our major roadways, Ocean Drive, SPID, Saratoga, Crosstown Expressway, take your pick. We're all in the clear here in for some of our major roadways in Corpus Christi, but over towards Flower Bluff, Waldron Road, want to account for a couple extra minutes there, and especially if you're heading up towards the Naval Air Station where they get some of that medium stop and go traffic. Other than that, looking pretty good and green wherever you're coming from and going to.
Still to come, a major crash in Houston sends over a dozen to the hospital. We'll break down what happened and what caused the crash just ahead.
Well, if it isn't Monday morning once again, taking a live look at our Snoopy Sky Cam, thanks to Matthews CCAC, sitting at 60 degrees right now with a little bit of cloud cover overhead, but luckily no fog here on our Snoopy Sky Cam, and of course the causeway in view. A few cars heading out for that Monday morning commute, but luckily not too bad as we're heading out there. Just want to bring the jacket along with you. Going to see more of that, or less of that cloud cover as we head into the afternoon. First, taking a look back at yesterday for our almanac data, we were pretty close to right on the money. 50 degrees for that morning low compared to 48, came in at 71 for the daytime high compared to about 67, so not too much to complain about from our Sunday. Either way, shy of those records, 24 and 88 degrees. Either way would have been just a little bit much to handle for our Sunday. And coming up on that quarter of an inch rainfall deficit so far for the year, but we are still very early, so I've got high hopes for 2026. For our temperatures out there right now, 55 degrees off to the north in Beeville. Going to match that as we work to the northwest in Cotulla this morning. 56 for San Diego, Alice, and Kingsville, and then a little bit warmer as you work your way along the coast. 67 for the Naval Air Station, 68 over there in Port Aransas this morning. And when we're looking at the moisture levels out there, those dew points have risen into the 50s as you work your way inland, the 60s closer to the coast, and those mid 60s as you work your way along the coast there. But with the temperatures and dew points so close, that's going to be the perfect recipe for a little bit of patchy fog to start developing. That's what we've seen so far this morning. Beeville was at a third of a mile visibility. Luckily, they have came up to about 3 miles right now. 4 miles there in Alice, also going to match that in Hebronville. Luckily here in Corpus Christi and most of the coastal communities, not seeing too much of that fog right now. For our Monday dog walking forecast today, we've got Max Kennedy on the board, looking definitely like a summer lover. And as we look at those temperatures today, I think Max is going to be a fan. 71 degrees by 10 a.m., those mid 70s already on the board as we're heading into the lunchtime hour with winds out of the southeast all day, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. As we're going into the afternoon, I think Max is going to be an even bigger fan when those daytime highs push the 80-degree mark, and feels like temperatures going to be in those lower 80s out there as we go into the overnight hours. Only going to hold on to to a lot of those lower 70s and the upper 60s as we head in the overnight hours. That's also going to be attributed to all that moisture that we've been seeing work into the area. For our future tracker, you can see all the cloud cover that has worked into central and south Texas. As we go into the morning hours, going to hold on to a lot of it, but by the time we're heading in towards lunch, plenty of clearing across the coastal bend. But by the time we're heading into tomorrow, you could just about copy and paste what we saw today. Going to see a redevelopment of that cloud cover and some of the patchy fog into tomorrow morning hours before once again we go into the afternoon and see plenty of sunshine on the menu for us. Here's a look at that upper level pattern where you can see mostly an upper level ridge dealing into the central United States until the back half of the week. Thursday into Friday, you can see this next upper level trough working into the central United States. That's going to bring an associated cold front with it. That's going to take a steep drop in the temperatures here into the coastal bend, of course, if everything holds its strength, which tends to shift and work around just a little bit as we're going into the coastal bend. But here through these next few days, you can see how we're holding on to a lot of those 80s and then the steep drop in those temperatures by Friday into Saturday, pushing the 60s for the weekend with plenty of cloud cover in store. Just unfortunately not looking best in terms of those rain chances with this cold front. Here's a look at those rain chances through the 7 days into the isolated category at best, but those are only going to be very brief as we're heading in through the week because of all the moisture that we have in the area. Just unfortunately don't have the upper level dynamics that we need to see some sustained rainfall into the area. For our 7-day forecast, like we talked about, almost that copy and paste pattern through the work week at least. By Friday, that cold front works in, and then we see the 60s cloud cover take over for the weekend.
Still to come on Chris 6 Sunrise, President Trump returning to Washington today with a strong statement after taking the Venezuelan president into custody.
Plus, as flooding continues on the West Coast, California is facing king tides that could ravage the region. We'll have all the details coming up.
Welcome back, folks. So we're looking to the west of us. California is seeing record-setting king tides that are causing flash flooding and significant damage. Severe storms struck across California over the past few days. Certain counties saw more than 4 inches of rain over a 48-hour period. On Sunday afternoon, half the streets in the Bay Area's Larkspur Marina neighborhood were underwater after the overflowing of the Corte Madera Creek. King tides are the highest predicted tides of the year for coastal locations, and officials say these are the largest ones the region has seen since 1998. Now, folks, when you think of solar power, you probably picture vast fields packed with panels. But California just flipped the switch on a new kind of project built over water. Ben Tracy, with our partners at Climate Central, shows us it's not just generating clean electricity, it's helping conserve one of our most precious resources.
In California's Central Valley, irrigation canals are the lifeblood of this crucial American farmland.
You don't see this kind of thing every day.
Josh Weimer says the oldest irrigation district in the state is now trying something new.
Can you span canals with solar panels, and what's the benefit?
That's the question behind Project Nexus, a $20 million state-funded pilot where cool canal water boosts the panel's efficiency, and the shade they create cuts water evaporation.
It's almost 100 degrees out here, right? That thing's making a lot of shade.
Jordan Harris co-founded Solar Aquagrid, the project manager. He says a study by UC Merced showed covering 4,000 miles of California canals could save 63 billion gallons of water each year, enough to irrigate 50,000 acres.
The value of water is only going to go up. Our needs for energy are only going up. We need to look at solutions like this.
Solar is America's fastest growing electricity source, up nearly 8-fold in a decade, according to Climate Central. It's key to replacing fossil fuels and their planet-warming emissions.
Canals like this one in California are not the only place where water and solar are coming together. In fact, they're also now teaming up on ponds and lakes all around the world.
Floating solar, or photovoltaics, are making waves from California to New Jersey and throughout Asia, creating clean energy without taking up valuable land.
So right now, you don't know if this really makes long-term financial sense. Not yet.
Josh Weimer says they'll next install a retractable solar system to see if the savings outweigh the cost.
There are potential benefits from this, but we got to make sure that it doesn't impact the reliability and affordability of the water being delivered.
For Climate Central, I'm Ben Tracy in California's Central Valley.
Well, hey there, Coastal Ben, and good Monday morning. Taking a live look now at our Snoopy Skycam, thanks to Matthew CCAC, sitting in those 60, 67 degrees with winds pretty calm right now here over at Snoopy Skycam. Luckily, not too much fog there on the Skycam, but as we're looking at those dew points, they have definitely been on the rise into the 50s as you work your way into some of our inland communities. 54 degrees for that dew point as we're working into Beeville. 56 over there in Orange Grove. 60 as we work to the southwest in Hebbronville, with the coastal communities coming in for some of those mid 60s for dew points. And whenever we're looking at those temperatures, they are also in the 50s and 60s. So temperatures and dew points close together, that is the perfect recipe for some patchy fog to start developing. You can see we're 56 degrees right now in Kingsville, 68 over there in Port Aransas, and with fairly calm winds, that's not stirring up the atmosphere too much either. But luckily, the dew points aren't exactly on the temperatures. So most of us coming in the clear, but still Beeville and Hebbronville looking at some of those reduced visibilities, also working through the Alice area. Just want to be mindful of that as we're heading out for that morning commute. But luckily, visibilities are starting to get just a little bit better out there. For our Doppler radar right now, nice and dry, so no rain to worry about as you're heading out for that morning commute. Unfortunately, not going to be any rain, it looks like, as we're heading through the 7-day forecast for right now, but I've got high hopes for the rest of 2025. You can see through the next 24 hours at least, could see some stray activity as we're heading into the overnight hours. I'll go over the rest of the week coming up.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this Monday morning. But first, we got to check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the roadways are looking with people potentially coming back from their holiday breaks. Hey, good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, weather-wise, not too much to complain about right now. In the 60s out there, and traffic-wise, not too much to complain about either. Plenty of greens on the map, but you're right, there are a few more cars heading out on the roadways. Here's a live look now at our SPID cam. You can see sitting at that 60-degree mark, but definitely a few more cars heading out on SPID than what we were seeing over the holidays, at least the past couple of weeks. But luckily, as we look at the traffic flow, still flowing nice and smooth out there. So let's get right into it here. Starting off with the New Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, going to be good and green if you're hitting that roadway, as well as 181 going into Taft and 361 heading towards Ingleside this morning. Now towards Robstown and Calallen, 37 nice and clear. Only a minor slowdown there on Leopard as you get closer to Annaville. Robstown coming in on 44, going to be nice and green the whole way as we work our way into Corpus Christi now. Ocean Drive, SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown Expressway all coming in for the most part in the clear. Only a very minor slowdown there on Ocean Drive as you're coming up towards Airline Road. And now as we look over towards Flower Bluff Drive, nice and green. Although Waldron Road, maybe you want to give yourself just a couple extra minutes on that morning commute. Other than that, looking like a good and green morning really wherever you're coming from and going to.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate you, sir. We're going to check back in with you in just a little bit. But first, folks, we have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning.
Yeah, there's a road closure starting today that may affect you. A section of the Das Marinas Drive between Crown Royal Road and Aquarius Street will be closed to traffic starting today and continuing through Wednesday. Now, folks, it's important to note that homeowners can still get to their properties. The closure is meant to complete utility work in the area.
And there were some terrifying moments for passengers riding a Houston Metro bus on Saturday afternoon. Authorities say a Route 54 bus, the Metro bus, I should say, was struck from behind while crossing an overpass, causing the bus to roll over and plummet down an embankment. Video shows the bus resting on its side down that embankment, and more than a dozen people were transported to local hospitals. Thankfully, none with life-threatening injuries. As of Sunday, those individuals were said to be, quote, safe and out of danger. Well, it's no secret that the beef has continued to rise in price, right? I've actually been showing you that price increase each and every Wednesday in my grocery tracker segment. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, red meat is more expensive than it's ever been, and experts say it could stay that way. Scripps News Group's Holly Furfer takes a look at the challenges shaping the cattle industry.
At Oak Barn Beef, family tradition runs deep. Owner and operator Hannah Klitz is a fifth-generation cattle producer. Along with her husband, she sells farm-to-table beef to her community in West Point, Nebraska, and ships beef products nationwide.
Quarter 4 is normally our busiest quarter just because of all of the gifting, and it's one of my favorite times of year, but I spend almost all year preparing.
This year brought a hard decision for the couple.
We have had to raise prices this year just with rising input costs.
The beef industry is facing major challenges: a prolonged drought across key cattle states, record high feed costs, and the smallest U.S. cattle herd in 75 years, resulting in record high prices for consumers.
Well, there's two reasons. One, we're producing less beef. And the second one is consumers like beef, and so they're buying. That helps keep prices high.
Anderson says past droughts still ripple through the industry.
Drought is an interesting thing where you have some immediate effects, and then you have some long-term effects that happen the next year.
Immediate effects like buying more feed, and long-term effects like less productive cows and smaller herds.
And also just the extra labor that comes from that and not having the feed for them and water. It's been really hard for a lot of producers.
Tighter supplies contribute to the higher prices we pay at the store, particularly on lean and ground beef, the most commonly imported in the U.S. High tariffs on Brazilian beef imports and restrictions on Mexican beef imports due to screwworm concerns are also making things more expensive. Klitz has added new products like turkeys to offer customers something fresh and keep margins afloat.
Farm-to-table businesses, they really are open to helping other people in the same industry, and I think that makes all the difference.
Despite high beef prices, her customers keep coming back.
And that's something we are very grateful for.
Well, hey there, and good Monday morning, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look now at our USS Lexington camp, thanks to First Community Bank. The new Harbor Bridge, nice and lit up this morning. Also the aquarium there, both putting on a good show. 60 degrees, those winds fairly calm right now out of the northeast, about 3 miles an hour, and a little bit of cloud cover, but not too much fog to worry about as we're heading out. Luckily, it is starting to dissipate across some of our inland communities. Didn't see too much work into here in Corpus Christi. Taking a look back at yesterday, almost right on the money, only a little bit above average, 50 degrees and 71 compared to 48 and 67 for our averages for this time of year. Either way, short of those records, 24 back in 1947 and 88 degrees back in 1997. So either way, on one of those fronts would have been just a little bit too much to handle for our Sunday. Definitely either too cold or too warm. For our temperatures out there right now, 57 degrees in George West, going to match that to the northwest in Cotulla this morning. 67 as we work our way along the coast at the Naval Air Station and Port Aransas. 60 here in Corpus Christi as well as Ingleside this morning, and Alice rounding us out at that 56 degree mark with a little bit of that inland patchy fog that I talked about still developing, or still starting to dissipate across Beeville, I should say. We were at a third of a mile visibility. Now we're up to about 4 statute miles of visibility. Going to match that there in Alice, and just a little bit less visibility in Hebbronville, coming in around the 3 mile mark right now. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Max Kennedy on the board right here in Nueces County, and says his favorite place to take a walk is over along the beach, of course, and not looking too bad for that as we head through our Monday if you're able to. 71 degrees by 10 a.m. with more sunshine coming out by that lunchtime hour, especially already pushing into those mid-70s, and I think Max is going to be an even bigger fan of the afternoon. As we're heading in towards that 2 to 4 p.m. time frame, we're going to expect those 80s and feels like temperatures into those lower 80s, but by the overnight hours, not even going to be as cool as this morning. Going to hold on to a lot of those 70s and the upper 60s as we head into tomorrow morning. For our future tracker, as we go into through the morning hours, holding on to a substantial amount of cloud cover and still a little bit of patchy fog out there, but as we head towards lunchtime into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine going to be on in the menu for us here in the Coastal Bend. But as we head into Tuesday, we're going to see a redevelopment of that cloud cover and a little bit of inland patchy fog, so on the lookout for that as we head into tomorrow. And as we head into tomorrow afternoon, pretty much the same once again with plenty of sunshine in store. So almost a copy and paste forecast for plenty of this week. But as we look at the upper level pattern, keep our eyes on the Thursday to Friday time frame when this next upper level trough works into the area. That's going to bring a substantial cool down back to the Coastal Bend, but unfortunately not the best rain chances for right now as we head through the 7-day forecast. You can see the temperatures though definitely going to take that decline through the week. We're going to hold on to a lot of those 80s. That cold front hits us on Friday. Then we're going to have a cloudy and cool weekend in the wake of it.
Stephen, thank you so much. So the Trump administration will discuss the U.S. military operation in Venezuela with select members of Congress today. Saturday's attack in Caracas led to deposed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife being taken into U.S. custody. Sources tell CNN the administration will now update chairs and ranking members of the House and Senate Foreign Relations and Armed Services Committees. The so-called Gang of Eight will also be brought in. They're congressional leaders from both parties, along with top members members of the intelligence committees. Sources say the update will be led by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe.
Well, Starlink has announced free internet service in Venezuela. The company owned by Elon Musk made the announcement on social media on Saturday. Starlink said that it would supply free broadband services to people of Venezuela until February 3rd. Metrics from NetBlanc showed a sudden loss of internet connectivity in parts of Caracas on Saturday, which it said corresponded to power cuts during the U.S. military operation. Local media reports also suggest there is no internet connection in some parts of the capital.
Now, wildfires have become one of the most deadly disasters in the United States. In 2024 alone, nearly 65,000 wildfires scorched almost 9 million acres of land. Ben Tracy, in partnership with Climate Central, shows us how artificial intelligence is now being used to spot fires faster, sometimes before anyone even sees smoke.
Yeah, just drop it a little bit so we can just check the gasket.
High in the mountains above Denver.
Yeah, moving out.
On a 150-foot tall tower.
Yeah, everything looks clear.
Two technicians,
super tight,
are checking a pair of eyes in the sky.
What are those things up there?
There are two Pano AI cameras. They're sitting on top of that cell tower.
Arvind Satyam is co-founder of Pano AI, a San Francisco startup that's installed nearly 1,000 high-resolution cameras across 10 western states. The cameras use AI to spot fires early before they spread.
What specifically is the AI doing?
The AI algorithms being run continuously on that imagery to say smoke, not smoke.
A human analyst confirms the image and alerts fire agencies in just minutes. West Metro Fire Assistant Chief Brendan Finnegan.
So having those eyes that can alert us really make it a valuable tool for us.
Climate change is helping fuel more hot, dry, windy days. According to Climate Central, some areas in the West now experience 2 extra months of fire weather each year compared to the 1970s.
So this is all of our cameras.
CAL FIRE Chief Philip Salig oversees a system of 1,200 AI-enabled cameras called Alert California.
This is where the AI had detected something.
He says nearly 40% of the time, the cameras spot fires before anyone calls 911.
Engine 3168, outside fire Bravo response.
In July, one near Fresno spotted a fire 20 minutes before the first emergency call.
So you got a huge head start.
Correct. The fires that this system has helped us dispatch resources to are the fires that you don't read about in the papers, the ones that you don't see.
Because the AI eyes in the sky saw it first. For Climate Central, I'm Ben Tracy in Denver.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, to start out this list, jury selection begins today in the trial of former Uvalde CSID, police officer Adrian Gonzalez, who will be tried right here at the Nueces County Courthouse. So officials expect protesters, media, and even more factors that could create chaos at the courthouse. Road closures, media parking, and other preparations are already underway around the facility. Jury selection begins later today, where 450 potential jurors have already been subpoenaed. We'll update you on air and online as the trial continues.
Funeral details have been announced for former Kingsville Fire Department and veteran Moises Castillo. Castillo passed away in a crash on Tuesday in Kingsville. The 35-year-old was set to be sworn in as a Kingsville police officer this month. He leaves behind a wife and son. The visitation will be held this Thursday, January 8th, from 3 to 9 p.m. It will be at the St. Gertrude Catholic Church, and that's at 1120 South 8th Street in Kingsville. The funeral services will also be held there on Friday, January 9th, and that begins at 11 in the morning, and the burial will follow at the St. Gertrude Cemetery.
And President Trump is back in Washington after giving the order to capture Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. He briefly spoke with reporters on board Air Force One. Venezuela, of course, was a major topic of discussion. The president saying that the U.S. will govern the country until there's a proper transition. This despite the vice president of Venezuela being sworn in and taking apparent control of the country, as well as demanding Maduro's return.
Dealing with the people, we're dealing with the people that just got sworn in. And don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It's we're in charge.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham joined the president on Air Force One. He praised the operation, saying the country's military strike on Venezuela was an amazing achievement.
President Trump's move against Maduro has triggered reactions from people across the world over the weekend. In Puerto Rico, a rally organized by Venezuelans in San Juan celebrated Maduro being taken, but their celebration was not shared by all. In Spain, hundreds gathered in Madrid to protest the United States' involvement in the situation, saying it sets a dangerous precedent for countries with their own sovereignty.
Here in Corpus Christi, some members of the Venezuelan community held their own demonstration at Brewster Street on the city's south side on Saturday.
And for us, it's a very, very special day. We're very happy, we're very optimistic, and, we are expecting that the American population will help the Venezuelan people to get the freedom that we deserve.
And dozens were seen at the restaurants supporting Venezuela with the flags, singing and dancing.
The NFL regular season is officially over, and there is one Texas team that made it to the playoffs. And no, folks, it is not the Cowboys. The Houston Texans finished off with an exciting 38-30 win over the Indianapolis Colts. Houston is one of the hottest teams in the league, riding a 9-game winning streak going into the playoffs. Now, the Texans will travel to Pittsburgh a week from today to face the Steelers, and that game will be broadcasted on ESPN next Monday, January 12th at 7:15 p.m.
Well, the Buffalo Bills also finished their regular season yesterday, but it was a bittersweet afternoon. It most likely was the last home game before the team moves to a new stadium next year. Fans gathered to clear snow from the stadium one last time. It's a tradition at Highmark Stadium for fans to earn a quick buck by shoveling snow from the stands. People from all over the country, even Texas, came together to prepare the stands for yesterday's game.
I think this is what brings people together. I mean, there's people from all over, a guy from Florida, Texas. I mean, Bills fans from everywhere coming here just to get the experience and to have fun. So.
Now, the hundreds of snow shovelers were given Highmark Stadium branded winter gloves to celebrate the final regular season game. That's a whole lot. That's one thing back in Reno that definitely was not my favorite thing to do was shoveling Mom's driveway every winter.
I think snow was just the one thing we just didn't like. It was only acceptable on Christmas. That was it.
Oh.
Maybe Christmas Eve, but that's it. So that's kind of why we're here, right?
That's fair. That's fair. That's a good time of year to have some snow, but that is definitely a lot of snow, especially where they get in Buffalo. That lake effect snow is definitely no joke. They get feet of snow, but here in Corpus Christi, I think we're going to be okay. I think it's going to be all right. We're sitting in the 60s right now. Not too much to complain about for our first full week of 2026, of course. Just a little bit of patchy fog as we were working to some of the inland communities. That's even starting to dissipate out there, so I am definitely a fan of today's weather so far. Here's a live look actually at Snoopy's Pier, thanks to Matthews CCAC, sitting at that 67-degree mark. Winds fairly calm out there right now with plenty of cloud cover outside to go along with it, but that sunrise starting to start up, and as we go into the afternoon hours, going to see less of that cloud cover and more of those warm temperatures pushing to the 80-degree mark for daytime highs today. Over the past 10 hours, have seen a decent cool down from 59 at midnight last night, 56 by that 1 a.m. hour, and then we saw a decent warm up actually going through the rest of the morning hours. Now we're hovering around those 60s, and that's actually thanks to all of the southeasterly flow that we've been seeing, bringing in some more warm and humid conditions to the coastal bend. You can see that really taking effect along the coast. 67 degrees right now for the Naval Air Station and Port Aransas, but then considerably cooler, at least 10 degrees as we work inland. 57 in Alice, 57 in George West, 56 for Beeville and Kingsville this morning. As we're looking at that fog, like I talked about, still mainly isolated to our inland communities. 5 miles of visibility in Beeville, 7 for Robstown and Alice. Still a little thicker there in Hebronville, coming at the 3-mile mark, but luckily still nothing short of a mile out there right now. Planning out the rest of our day, you can see how we're going to see more of that sunshine coming out into the afternoon hours. Winds out of the southeast going to be around pretty much all day too, with daytime highs pushing that 80-degree mark by 2 to 3 p.m. And as we head towards 5 p.m., going to be around those mid-70s still, so definitely going to be a warmer than average Monday for us here in the coastal bend. For our future tracker going through today, you can see how we're going to hold on to a lot of cloud cover going through the morning hours, but by the time we're heading in towards that lunchtime, at least the later morning hours, that's where we see plenty of sunshine returning to the coastal bend. That's going to help drive our temperatures right back up towards that 80-degree mark. As we head in towards tomorrow, we're going to see once again the redevelopment of some of that cloud cover, as well as some of that patchy fog heading into tomorrow. tomorrow morning, and also going to attribute that to plenty of that southeasterly flow. That's going to be really continuing for the entire day as we're heading through our Monday and going into our Tuesday as well, with plenty of sunshine going to be on the board for both afternoons, and really almost a copy and paste forecast as we're going through the work week. Here's a look at that upper level pattern where you can see how we're going to hold on to this upper level ridge for the most part. By the end of the week, we'll start to see at least that Thursday, Friday timeframe, this next upper level trough really working into the central United States. Going to bring an associated cold front with it, and that one's looking pretty substantial. Let's take a look at these daytime highs through the next 10 days. You can see how we're holding on to those 80s through Friday, but by Saturday into Sunday, a steep drop in temperatures in the wake of that cold front. Going to be holding on to those 60s, it looks like, as we're heading on to the second week of 2026. As we're looking at those rain chances right now, not looking the best for us across the coastal bend right now. Going to see all that moisture in place, but not seeing a major lift factor and not a ton of instability in our atmosphere. So those rain chances going to remain at the isolated chance or less as we're heading through the work week. Even when we're getting that cold front into the region, when we do get a little bit more lift into the region, unfortunately, we're just not going to see the best dynamics still for some of that rain working into the coastal bend. So going to see this deficit grow a little bit in terms of our rainfall going through the next few days, but still, we're very early into 2026, so I've got high hopes for the rest of the year as we're rolling through it. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, you can see how we're holding on to the 80s almost every day throughout the work week, holding on the 83-degree mark there by Tuesday, 82 degrees as we're heading into Wednesday. Those above average temperatures definitely going to be in store for us here in the coastal bend. Keep in mind, for this time of year, we're supposed to be about 67 degrees, so we're sitting a good 15 degrees above average, but then there is some hope on the horizon. Thursday going to be pretty windy. That Friday cold front going to drop us from those 80s right down into the 60s as we're heading into Saturday. Those upper 60s going to make their return before the lower 60s as we're heading into the Sunday timeframe. So definitely a cloudy and cool weekend on the way for the coastal bend, I should say, for us here. But still going to be shy of that snowfall that we were talking about for Buffalo, you guys. So I think I'm not going to complain about it as we're heading into it.
No, not at all. Were you able to check out? I mean, it was hard to miss the supermoon over the weekend.
See, I did see it. I didn't even remember at first because I wasn't feeling the best at first. But then I just looked out the window, just got a great view of it right out my window. It was a beautiful one for sure.
I was like thinking about it. You can see the craters and everything too.
Yeah.
It was the biggest and brightest moon, I think,
yes.
to start the year.
Yes, no, definitely to start the year. And then we have a couple more actually heading this year, but we're going to have to wait till November and December to get to those supermoons. Of course, we'll have a full moon every month, but the biggest ones of 2026 this month, then November and December.
I love how there's not a lot of light pollution here in Corpus Christi. I mean, definitely when you go to like the beach and whatnot, way less. But compared to bigger cities like Reno, where we come from, not that much light pollution. You really see that night sky.
San Antonio was pretty tough to get away from some of that light pollution too,
that's
for
true.
sure.
That's true. Something else you can't get away from? Us. We'll be back here at noon, folks. But for now, have yourself a fantastic Monday. We hope you have an even better week ahead. We will see you soon.